grateful to be here in the library this morning. They opened it up just for us. And the library is also a double header for Civic Bridge this year, so they have two projects. And so next up we have Tom Fortin, who's the chief of the main library, and Chris Parkerson from Adobe.
So good morning, everybody. Again, I'm Tom Fortin. I'm Chief of Main, which practically speaking means that I'm the branch manager for this building. So welcome to the library. It's 375,000 square feet of library loveliness. We want you to check it out. There's great programs happening every day, from the popular fiction collection on the first floor, to the Teen Digital Media Lab on the second floor, to the Community Memory and San Francisco History Center on the 6th floor. There's always a good reason to come to the main library. And in our core mission is to invite everybody from the community into the library. We welcome everybody. And then we have a problem, like you all. We have a problem. You all know the challenges of the neighborhood in the Civic Center. There's a lot of aberrant street behavior. That street behavior ends up coming into the library and drives up incidents, whether it's using drugs, whether it's assaults, whether it's cursing at staff. It's not too dramatic to say that staff sometimes feel under siege in trying to respond to these challenges. One of the things that happens is word of mouth. People hear about what's happening at the library in terms of these incidents, and then that word of mouth gets around and actually drives down our business. And there's all kinds of reasons why people should be coming here, so we want people to celebrate the library. So that's our problem. And then enter Adobe.
Great. Thank you, Tom. So the challenges that we saw as Adobe was that we, first of all, didn't have any security or behavioral psychology expertise on our team. So we had to break this down into something that the expertise of our team could actually accomplish. How do we reframe the problem into something we can work on? The thing we had to keep in mind, the library must always be open and serving all populations of the city of San Francisco. And of course, as with most of these when we started, we had no budget, we had no resource allocations, so we had to just fly and hope that we could get most of these done. So our approach, the core issues when we actually broke them down were more behavioral and environmental, not your traditional security and law enforcement type issues. We needed to bend the curve of bad behavior downward. That was our primary focus. So how do we do that? How do we actually get the incident curve to start bending downward? And also those that are intent on bad behavior, keep them from coming in. And we need to also try to decrease the institutional feel of the space. 375,000 square feet, and we need to make it actually feel a lot livelier than it is right now. And we need to make the library feel like it's a destination for all citizens. So how exactly do we go about doing that? Lots of interviews, dozens of interviews, lots of data, and a lot of playing in the sandbox. And these recommendations we're going to go through are the ones that are going to be part of the first wave that the library is going to implement, and then there are a bunch of other ones we gave them to go on after the first wave. And Tom's going to talk about what that first wave looks like. So recommendations on the people side is we definitely want to improve on the restroom side, so we were recommending attendance for the restrooms, as well as we want to encourage people to explore all of this space. There's a lot of centers within this space. There's a lot of separate research areas within this space. One of the things we found is a lot of this space stays dormant. So we wanted to activate as much of it as possible. And of course, in that dormant space can often be bad behavior. So that's what we were trying to do, is see if we can activate as much of the space as possible to try to, of course, discourage bad behavior from happening in that space. And the other part on the people side is we want to have the staff be a part of this. So we're going to create this program where the staff gets more engaged with the citizenry and expresses themselves through a staff-driven voluntary program where they're able to talk about their interests, their favorite books, all sorts of things like that to make it more personable and less institutional feeling. On the exterior, perimeter and entrances, we want to test the reduction in the library to one entrance to improve flow and security operations, exterior lighting, other types of activities on the facade of the library, because there was a lot of bad activity happening around the facade. So we want to do what we can to try to improve that area. And then the restrooms, more visible signage, as well as some minor appearance upgrades. And then also, we want to improve the signage throughout the library space, add a wayfinding system, turn the atrium into a public gathering space, use pop-up programs to activate dormant spaces, and one of the things we looked at was a maker space for adults. We have a maker space for teens, why not have one for adults as well? We've got the equipment here in the library. So with that, and on the digital side, we're talking about a scavenger hunt type mobile app to encourage people to explore this space, see what's here. There's a vinyl record collection here with 1,000 vinyl records. Who knows that? So, I mean, that's one of the things we want to do is try to activate all of those resources. So with that, I'll turn it over to Tom, who will quickly talk through how we're going to do this.
So thank you to the Adobe team and the library team that helped me on this project. We also, now it's our turn, and naming it, we'll be pulling together a group of staff. We want to do a launch event in the fall. That will probably mean like a week's worth of activities. We don't want to use Library 2.0, but we want to come up with a name to express that it's a new experience at the main library. So we'll bundle these ideas together, we'll flesh them out as staff, we'll present it in the fall, and this is valuable for us because down the road we're going to need to renovate this building. It's already over nearly 25 years old. It was designed before the internet, and library services have completely been revolutionized by the internet. So it's on a traditional model, and this will allow us to test things. And then ultimately, in our original problem statement, we want to make sure that everybody in the entire city understands that the main library is a family-friendly space. And by using these tools, recommendations from Adobe, we expect that we can change the experience, and then everybody will be welcome here. So thank you.